Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Go check out my website at skysworld.com for life coaching and mentoring. As you can see, I have a couple spots on my face. This is where I got the skin removed, doctor's orders. He was worried that these spots were precancerous. They didn't look good. I went to a dermatologist. They gave the same diagnosis. And then I went to a very reputable plastic surgeon, cosmetic surgeon in the area. And he chopped me up. Get the stitches out Wednesday. Let's get into the study group for warriors every single Sunday. This is how we get down. Basically, if you're new to the channel, welcome. We got some good people here. Hope you guys can make some connections with each other. I go through my notes. I relentlessly take notes every single day. I'm heavily engaged in a mind, body, and soul lifestyle. This is how I get through. This is how I have become stronger. And this is what this whole channel is about. Let's just get into this. I have so much, I don't even know where to start. Karma. Let's start at karma. People like the idea of karma. And I've philosophized on this a little bit. I mean, I also like the idea of karma, because what is karma? It's a chance to get some vengeance on your enemies without lifting a finger. You may be too weak to get your revenge, to get your comeuppance, to do anything. But the universe can handle your business for you. All debts can be settled by the universe, this magical power, as if the universe is watching your story, your life like a movie, sitting there eating popcorn and like, oh no, watch out. And if something happens, the universe says, oh hell no, you can't do that to my bro, my homeboy. And then the universe goes and handles your business for you. And this whole idea of karma was invented by the Indians from India. You know, the dot Indians, not the feather Indians. And I believe that it was started in India by the upper caste system, because they have a hierarchy of in their system of classes, and they're real strict about it. And the upper class fed this fantasy of karma to the lower classes, which was basically a way to pacify the masses, to pacify them out of revolt, to keep them from rebelling, and to give them a fantasy that everything will work out in the next life, and that God or the universe or some energy out there is watching and is going to handle all your enemies for you. So you don't actually have to do anything. No, don't pick up a torch or a shield or a sword. Just wait. Passively wait. And this is what a lot of you do. And you have this assurance in your mind, this fantasy that you've come up with, that you've bought into, that, oh yeah, you'll get yours. I've seen the worst motherfuckers rise to the top. I truly think karma is a fantasy. It's a fantasy of slaves and of weaklings. I don't know. I know that's rather controversial, but I'm not a big karma person. I like to handle my business myself, man. I don't wait for the fucking universe, wait for God to do it for me. What if he's not paying attention? What if he disagrees? I handle my shit myself. My dad used to always say that. Go handle your fucking business. I go complain to my dad about, oh, this or that. He'd just look at me and be like, you better go handle it. Here's a question. Let's ask ourselves this question. Should we have pity for the weak? Now, on one hand, we say, yes, of course we should. We should have pity for children or old people or sick people. And what is pity? And pity is kind of like sympathy. And you're glad it's not happening to you. You feel, I guess you feel sorry for them. Think about when you have had pity over someone. And I'm not talking about Mr. T pity. Mr. T pity is different, where he says, I pity the fool. That kind of pity is slightly different. That's definitely looking down your nose on someone, thinking that you're better, because I pity the fool is like, ah, you're so pitiful, you're disgusting, you're stupid, you're an idiot. That's what that kind of pity is. Should we have pity for the weak? You're driving down the street, you're going downtown, you see all those homeless people. We don't have them where I live. That's the thing about Florida. You go to Orlando, that's the biggest city near me. They don't have shanty towns in Orlando. These tent cities, they don't have that in Orlando. Nobody's pooping on the sidewalk in Orlando. They might be doing that where you live. And you may have pity for those people. But see, pity is divided up into a couple areas. I mean, if we look at it as sympathy, then I think it is condescending, where you do think you're better. You're glad that you're not there. You couldn't imagine being there. And you get into a rather judgmental mode when you're having pity upon some bum that you see. You're high on your horse in judgment right then. When you have empathy, this is where it differs. I think empathy is a higher value, a better way to look at the world than with sympathy. When you have empathy, you can actually put yourself in someone else's position, and you feel true emotion for them, whatever it may be, because of that mental positioning, that game that you play. So you're no longer looking down on them, judging them. You can put yourself in their shoes and be them, and then understand and say, ah, yeah, that is fucked up. But I'm not convinced that we should have pity for the weak. What about a weak man who has 2 arms and 2 legs, who's standing on a street corner with a sign that says, feed me? Should I have pity for him when he can go and work? He could go stand outside of a fence of any construction site in America and say, please pay me $5. That's all I want. $5 to get something to eat. Let me clean up. They will let you clean up and they might pay you more than $5. You might have a goddamn regular job all of a sudden. Should I have pity for a drug addict who chooses his life, banging up heroin, when I'm choosing to commute across town? Here's a question for you to ask yourself. This is kind of a tough one. I haven't really explored this fully, so let's explore it together. See what it means, see if we can get anything out of it. Might just hit a brick wall, who knows. What's the narrative that you need to keep yourself from crumbling? That's the question. That's the question I wrote down. What's the narrative that you need to keep yourself from crumbling? I don't know. I try to think about that. What is the narrative that I need to keep myself from crumbling? What would make me crumble? I'm a pretty strong person mentally. Being strong is a mental game. I know guys that are big and strong, steroid goons, have big bodies that are dreamlike, but mentally, they're weak little bitch motherfuckers, man. What would make you crumble? Find that weakest link, and then go and strengthen it. Think about it. What is the narrative that you're walking on, that's keeping you erect, that's holding your whole life up? Could be your history, could be your heritage, could be your beliefs. Who knows what it is? Let's move on to the next one. I'm gonna warn you, this video is gonna go a little long, just because I'm not gonna do a video tomorrow. I probably won't do another video until Wednesday. Let's get into a little bit of semantics. Just figure out what some words mean. Hedonism, you've heard that before, hedonist. There used to be a motorcycle shop near me, a couple blocks down, called Hedonist Cycles. Was that down? Yeah. And they had weird, kind of creepy, weird logos of a guy and a girl, because it was a husband and wife team, of them having sex. And all their logos was them two embraced naked, and it was weird artwork, man. They made cool bikes, though. The hedonist lifestyle is a lifestyle where pleasure is the only good. Pleasure becomes your God. You worship pleasure because you find your happiness in pleasure, and happiness is the ultimate goal of the hedonist. You ask the hedonist, what do they want out of life? And they'll just tell you, all I want is to be happy. I find hedonism to be a weakness. There's nothing wrong with pleasure, but you make that your lifestyle, you're weak. Suffering should be your lifestyle. That's how you get strong. What about skeptics? Skepticism. You've heard of that. I'm really skeptical. Some people hold skepticism as a a high value. That's one of their core values. Oh, I'm a big skeptic. People say that. You've heard people say that. You might be a huge skeptic. Skeptical of everything. The internet has made people skeptical of everything. And what is being a skeptic? A skeptic is not knowing anything. The internet may have turned you into a skeptic of everything because everything you thought you knew turns out to be a lie. Everything on the internet is a goddamn lie. Every single person on the internet is a fucking liar, right? Some people truly believe this. The skeptics believe this. And those types of people have kind of fallen into this trap of knowing nothing, pretending to know nothing, pretending to be dumb, playing dumb. Because they so snidely kind of say in this way that, well, they don't know. How am I supposed to know? And everything is questionable. They don't know anything. They don't have anything to stand on. For example, a skeptic believes in subjectivity. The world is subjective. There's nothing empirical. So nobody knows the right path in life. There is no right path in life. No true path. There's no truth in life. It's all subjective. It's just all up to your personal outlook, your personal experience. So when you live in that world where there's no right path, any path can be the right path, then you're always lost. Everyone is always lost. Skeptics don't really have high value on human life, oddly enough. Skeptics are often atheists. Skeptics often join the cult of I, turning themselves into a god, thinking that they're so smart. Did you ever notice how skeptics think that they're smarter than you? They know nothing. You say, okay, you know so much, explain it to me. They can't. All they know is that you're wrong. Let's talk about Stoicism. Stoicism is a philosophy of virtue for leaders and for men. I'm getting low on water. This video is going to have to end soon. It's a way to live in accordance with nature. A Stoic wants to be the best version of himself. A Stoic has no need for hedonism. A Stoic isn't afraid of suffering. And he doesn't try to control the world, he just tries to control himself. You know, the two most famous Stoics were Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, I believe that was his name. Epictetus, oddly enough, was a slave. Marcus Aurelius was an emperor. So check it out. Both a slave and an emperor can have the same philosophy. You know, a true sign of leadership is when you can be happy with whatever position that you are in life. It doesn't mean that you have no drive. It just means you can live in the here and now and be strong in the here and now. Your strength isn't off in the distance. So many of you put your strength in the distance. I'll be strong when I get there. Be strong now. Here's a question for you. Think about it. How many of you have never disgraced yourselves? I've disgraced myself so many times. Oh my God. How many of you have never disgraced yourself? I hear crickets. I think everybody is disgraced to themselves. Isn't that interesting, though? Just to philosophize on, think about that every single person, all you perfect people, you're so judgmental and laughing at others. You've disgraced yourself before. Ask yourself this. This will help you get through life. This is important. This is probably the most important thing I've said in this whole lesson. This is a tenet of Stoicism. This is what Stoics do. Ask yourself, can I control it or not? Ask yourself that question at every turn, every single day, with every decision, with everything you worry about, everything you're anxious about, everything you're depressed about. Ask yourself, can I control this or not? And if the answer is yes, I can control it, then handle that motherfucking business. Handle your business like my dad used to tell me. Handle it, man. Do something. Get moving. Stop complaining. And if the answer is solidly no, I can't control this. There are some things out of your control. You can't control this. Move on. Move on. You know, I'll end this here. I just want to talk about purity. I've been meditating on healing because I have injuries. I got stitches in my fucking face. So I've been meditating on healing, physically healing. But as I've been meditating on physically healing, I've been thinking about mental purity. To purify myself. When we heal, we want to be purified. You clean a wound. You don't put dirt in a wound. You don't go to the garbage can and smear fucking muck and garbage all over your fucking wound. You clean it. You put Neosporin or bacitracin, whatever that shit is called. You put that on there and you keep it clean. You purify yourself in order to heal yourself. So I've been thinking about purity. To heal my soul. My soul has felt dirty. Some people can't relate. Have a good Sunday.